Well, buen Camino Pilgrims. I am Jeremiah Gibbs. I'm your Camino guide, and today I've got my packing list for this, my 7th Camino. I guess I should just say, for those of you that watch regularly, I have a Camino, section of Camino planned coming up in July. Really excited about that as Spain has opened up to vaccinated person, so I am glad that I'm going to get to go back in July for now my 7th section of Camino in various places over the time. So looking forward to that trip, and I decided that after having done this 7 times, it was time to put together a packing list to be able to just talk about the wisdom that I've been able to gain from walking Camino so many different times, and how I can maybe help you kind of pare down your list for packing items. I happen to be one that I think most people are tempted to carry way too many items, way too much stuff, way too much extra thing. I gotta have an extra one of these in case this thing breaks or whatever. You're not going to a developing country. You're going to one of the wealthiest countries in the world. You're going to a populous country that's very well developed, lots of resources. You're going to be walking in and out of towns, and so I want to talk you through how you can pare down your list as much as you possibly can, so that you're carrying less on your back and able to enjoy your Camino pilgrimage as much as possible. You know, they say that you carry your fears in your backpack, and so oftentimes we let the anxieties that we have about one thing or another sort of pile up. And so I just want to kind of give you my take on what's the best sort of list for a Camino pilgrimage, and maybe some of the things that you'd be able to just leave at home as you make your pilgrimage. Let me just say quickly that all of the gear that's in this list are things that I have purchased at full price. Nothing was given to me by anyone. But if you want to support this channel, you absolutely can do that. There's going to be a link in the description to my list on Amazon of all the items that I suggest. That's a great place to go and to shop. And if you click on that link and make a purchase from Amazon, they'll give me a small portion of that back without costing you anything more. It's a great way to support the work that I do to be able to afford this equipment and so on, to be able to make these videos. So I appreciate any support that you can give by clicking those links that are in the description to Amazon. It's probably important to say at this point that the list that I'm going to be giving you is for my pilgrimage in July, and I think if you're going, you know, sort of in the heat of the summer like that, this list is going to be pretty small in comparison to what you might if you were in the shoulder season, or certainly if you're going in a colder part of the year. But I will try along the way to suggest some things that might be different, or that I might change out if I were going in a different time of the year. So hopefully if you're going a different time of year, this can be helpful to you as well. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is my backpack, which is the Deuter Futura 50. That's a much larger backpack than you really need for Camino de Santiago, but it's the pack that I use for lots of different things. I love it for lots of reasons. Rather than telling you very much about this pack, I'm just going to link in the description to the video that I made about how to choose a backpack. That's going to give you a lot more information, and I really believe that the 2 most important items that you could, decisions you can make about your Camino gear are going to be your backpack, which you're going to be wearing. It's going to be carrying all your weight. It's a super important piece for your comfort. So certainly backpack is important. Shoes going to be second. But so I have a dedicated video to each of those. I'm not going to describe a lot here, so please click on the link in the description, or click on the link up above, so that you can find out more about this backpack and why I've chosen this pack. This is quite a bit larger than most Camino backpacks will be. Usually a Camino backpack is only about 30 to 40 liters. This is a 50 plus liter backpack, so much larger than needed. But anyway, check out my video on backpacks, and hopefully that one will give you some advice on what to do with that. The second thing, which I'm not going to describe very in depth, is going to be my Ultra Trail Runner shoes. I actually have a video about how you choose shoes as well. I'm going to put a link in the description for that video as well. These are actually not the ones that I feature in the video, which are the Salomon XA Pro. These are a new shoe for me, the Ultra. Ultra, there's a number of reasons. I also have a review about a different Ultra shoe on the channel, but this is a new shoe for me. I'm going to try these out, see how this works, and if I don't like them, then I'm going to go back to the Salomons. But regardless, I'm a big fan of trail runners, and the video will tell you why I think that is a great idea. So those are going to be your two biggest items. I have dedicated videos to those, and I hope that you will check those out. Now I want to go through some of the items that I think everybody has got to make some decisions about, and how I have made those decisions for myself. First of all, I think clothing, because clothing is one of the things that people stress about quite a lot, and I have actually a little bit more clothing than what would typically I would think that you need for Camino, but I'll explain why in just a moment. So I have 3 different shirts. These two, the blue one and the white one, are both dry fit long sleeve shirts that have some UV protection from the sun. I am going to be going in the summer. It's going to be very hot. I don't love sunblock, and it rubs off and so on anyway, sweats off, and so I think a long sleeve thin tech shirt like that is much better for resisting the sun, and also for really even staying cool. It seems odd to go long sleeve to stay cool, but often I have found that to be better. This is actually a golf shirt that has is also made of tech material, dry fit material. I have one collared shirt every time because that I feel a little bit better walking into towns and walking into churches and things like that with a collared shirt on. So that's just a personal preference. We have 3 pairs of pants here. This is a set of Columbia convertible pants. You can see I've got the legs are zipped off right now. I almost always wear these as shorts. Certainly some people will wear pants throughout their pilgrimage. I certainly prefer to wear shorts most of the time, even in colder weather, but I do have the convertible ones so that on days that are particularly cold, then I can put those back on there. If I'm going in the shoulder seasons, then I carry all convertible pants like that, like 2 pair or sometimes a 3rd pair, because that's going to be the main thing that I'm wearing. I do have just a pair of hiking shorts here that are also a dry fit, quick dry material, and then this is just a pair of athletic shorts that I may sleep in some, and if I really need to, then I can wear those on the trail as well. Let me just say, though, that although I have 3 sets of clothing here, shirts and pants, really, you only need 2. Normally what I would like to do is I would come into an alberga in the early afternoon. I take a shower. I change into the clean clothes from the day before. I then wash the clothes that I've worn hiking that day, and then get them out on the line drying as fast as I can, or in the dryers as fast as I can, to be able to get those dry by morning. And then I would wear the clothing, the clean clothes, out to dinner and so on. Then I usually sleep in those same clothes and just get up, roll out of bed, and off on my way to hiking the next day. And then when I get in that day, I repeat the process, and I'm able then to just have 2 outfits. Now, you'll notice that there's 3 outfits. For me, after walking as many pilgrimages as I have found that not doing laundry every other day, that just taking one more outfit, and therefore getting to skip laundry every other day, is worth it for me to carry an extra outfit. You may choose to just go with 2, and I actually think that's probably the preferred choice. This is just my luxury item, if you will, is to have an extra set of clothing. I also, although there's only 2 pair of underwear here, I would carry 3 pair of underwear. So that I can do the same thing with my underwear, only doing laundry every other day. These are Duluth Trading Company's sort of their tech fit underwear. I really like these from Duluth Trading Company because they don't feel slick and kind of odd the way that many dry fit underwear do. They feel like cotton even though they are a dry fit material. So I really like those from Duluth Trading Company. You'll see I have 3 pair of wool hiking socks. I think, and let me actually go back to talk about the materials on these. There's lots of different materials that you could have for any of your clothing. The only thing that really matters is that all of your clothing is some sort of material that's going to dry fast. Nothing dries in Spain very well. It is a wet country. It's a humid country. If you are getting rained on a daily basis, or you're doing even if you're just doing your laundry on a daily basis, it seems like everything is wet all the time. So quick dry clothing means that it will be dry by morning, even if it's just hanging on your bunk or hanging out on a line outside. It'll be dry by morning, and that way you can do that laundry on a repeating daily basis and have dry clothing, clean clothing most of the days. So the only thing, you could choose a merino wool shirt or pants. You can choose these polyester dry fit type materials. It doesn't really matter. The only thing that I would say is you absolutely do not want cotton on anything because it will just not ever dry out. So anything, underwear, shirt, pants, make sure that all of it is either dry fit material or wool, so that those are able to dry out quickly. My socks, you can also get socks that are made of acrylic or other man-made materials. Wool socks for me are absolutely where it's at. I have 3 pair here. I actually will probably carry a 4th pair on Camino. I carry more socks than I need because that means that I can change them frequently, and really that's my main blister prevention strategy, is just to change socks frequently. You will see people who will have sock liners and some other things. I have found that if I have a good pair of wool hiking socks, I change them frequently. That's just the best route for keeping my feet dry. And if you watch the video on shoes, you'll know that dry feet are typically the best way to make sure that you don't get blisters, to keep those feet dry. So that's all of my clothing items, I think. I guess maybe one other piece to talk about would be this buff. This one happens to be a Camino printed brand buff. In the most of the season, this is going to work to be able to keep the sun off your neck. It's going to work probably for, I'm planning to use it as a mask. Now that because we're in COVID right now, I'm planning to use it as a mask. Although I may have to get an actual, medical mask for, it depends on what the regulations are there. I don't know that yet. You'll find out more when I'm there in July. But I plan to use it for that. You also can cover up your face with it if you are cold. Just lots of purposes for the buff. You can use it to wipe your sweat off if you don't mind having a sweaty towel that you're using for other purposes. But buff serves lots of purposes like that, and really appreciate that. For rain gear, I have in the winter, in the colder seasons, the shoulder seasons, I've always carried a Columbia light rain jacket. I have decided that I'm going to try some other things. I've never really liked the rain jackets, any of them. I've tried lots of different ones. I've never really liked them because I find that I sweat just as much as the rain would be getting me wet, and I end up being soaked anyway because I just am sweating so much inside of those rain jackets, even really good ones. So this year I am taking a poncho. This is a very large poncho. It's pretty lightweight. It has the space for your backpack built into it, so it will just go over your pack and over your body. poncho seems to be quite a bit better ventilated and just doesn't get you as hot. In much of the time when I'm walking in the rain, I just get wet. I actually prefer to just get wet most of the time, but if it's cold especially, you can't just get wet, or if it's raining hard for hours and hours, that's pretty miserable. So the poncho would be for use for me for when it's really raining hard. I am going to be trying something different this year as well, and taking this ultralight hiking umbrella. You'll see that in some later videos, which is a great moment to remind you, if you're getting value from these videos, please subscribe to this. I make videos about equipment, and I make videos about logistics as well as the theology and spirituality of Camino. So if you're preparing a pilgrimage, certainly click that subscribe button right now, because I make videos that will help you to be able to get to Spain. One of the videos that's upcoming will be a video about this umbrella and how it works both for preventing rain but for me, more importantly, this summer, is I'm going to be on the Meseta in July, and I plan to use this as my shade, and hopefully stay much cooler as walking across the Meseta. So that's actually an experiment. I don't know, but if you tune in to this channel, then you'll be able to find out how that went. Also, I already mentioned subscribe, but the other thing I'd love for you to do right now is to click the like button. That tells YouTube that this is valuable content for people who like Camino, and that sends this video out to others. That really is helpful for me to be able to get the word out about what I'm doing here with these videos. So please, appreciate it if you would click the like button. Okay, so back to the work. So I am going to take this rechargeable headlamp this year. I normally don't bother with a flashlight. I just use the flashlight on my phone. But because I'm going in the Meseta in July, if it's really hot, I will get up very early in the morning and I'll hike before daylight. So the headlamp will allow me to be able to do that safely and so on. So these are going to be my town shoes. They're very, very lightweight sandals. I wear those around town. I wear them in the shower. It's really nice to be able to get your feet out of the hiking shoes when you're going around town and so on. And also, if you have blisters and so on, these will just hit you in a different place than your hiking shoes do. And so it can really be nice. And I use an open air sandal like that, like a big ventilated shoe, because that also helps your feet to dry out if if you're having blisters and things like that. So I think that's really important and helpful. This is a quick dry towel. Mine is actually really large. You don't need one as large as that. That's a beach towel size. But that will allow these are quick dry as well, and so they'll dry from day to day as you're using them. I will not be carrying a sleeping bag this year. I'm actually going to be, and I haven't carried a sleeping bag in a while. This is just like a sleeping bag liner. It's actually much larger than that. It's a sheet that's a silk sheet for hostel stays. You can get those on Amazon and so on. The link is in the description to my Amazon list. But I personally will just have no blankets at all for a summer Camino. I find that I'm very hot in the summer in the albergas. When I've been in there in July before, I would never want to sleep in a sleeping bag. So the travel sheet protects you from just touching the beds. You do have to sleep on a sheet. I hate the paper sheets that you get in so many albergas, so that one allows me to be able to do that. And then this year, I'm not going to be carrying a sleeping bag because I'm going in the summer. I will say that right now we're in COVID, and I don't know after COVID whether blankets will be provided in the albergas. It used to be that I could just carry that, and that was enough because in the albergas, you would always have blankets provided. I think now that with COVID, probably I know that the blankets have gone away temporarily. They may have gone away for good. Who knows? But certainly that was enough when the albergas were providing blankets. If you are a cold sleeper or you're going in the shoulder seasons, I will put a picture up for a down blanket. These are very lightweight blankets that you can get on Amazon. The link is again in my description for my Amazon list. But these down blankets weigh usually not more than about a pound. They're good to about 50 degrees, which is plenty whenever you're staying indoors. You don't need a sleeping bag. The down blanket is much more comfortable. They're lightweight. They're fairly inexpensive. So I would encourage you, if you are going in the shoulder season or you just are a cold sleeper and want to be able to stay warm, then these down blankets are great. And I've used those before, and they're excellent. So going on around the circle here, you'll see that I have two just typical water bottles. The Smart Water bottle fits a bit better in my pack and in my holster, but I will usually be able to get by with just one water bottle while hiking. When I come up to water, I drink as much water as I can, I fill it up, and I walk away with 1 liter of water. That's enough, certainly through most of Galicia. It's probably enough for most of the Camino. There are some longer sections that you might be going up to 15, 17K without water, and so I always have a second water bottle. Usually the second water bottle for me is empty in my pack, and only use the one, but certainly for those longer sections, I like having the empty one in there so I can fill that up on sections that I know that I may need more water. So these here are, and I'll talk about this when I do the ditty bag, but these here are just a bunch of Ziploc bags. I found that those are really helpful for being able to organize your pack, be able to throw things away, put waste toilet paper in there and things like that. I guess speaking of that, you'll see over here, this is my toilet paper in a Ziploc bag. It is important that you bring toilet paper with you for two reasons. First of all, because many times in the bathrooms themselves, you're not going to have toilet paper available, but also because you may have to go out when you are hiking on the trail. Most of the time you can wait until you get to a bar and go in a bar's bathroom, but if you have to go out on the trail, you're going to need to have the toilet paper with you. I'll have another video later talking about bathroom etiquette on the trail and what you should be doing with your waste and things like that. But the short of it is, you really should pack out your toilet paper, and I have a Ziploc bag there to be able to do that as well. I think we could talk about this is a little grocery bag like you would use, to go bring your groceries in from the store. I always bring one of these. This one's super lightweight, and you can see it kind of folds into itself right here. It's got its own little pouch. It will fold into itself. It's on a little carabiner, and so I will often have this attached to the outside of my pack so that if I go shopping and get some things out in town, or if I want to use it as a laundry bag, I often will put my laundry in there when I'm carrying it to the laundromat and that kind of a thing. So I really like having one of these lightweight shopping bags with me all the time. And I would encourage you to do the same on that. These two pieces of gear right here, and I guess actually I'll show you my trekking pole now too. I do not carry two trekking poles on Camino de Santiago anymore. I do have two of these, and I carried two for some time. I found that most of the time when I'm on Camino that one pole is going to be enough for me, and so I only carry one trekking pole. Unless there are some sections where it's nice to have two, so there are times when I would bring two, but this year especially just on the Meseta I'm only going to bring one. You'll see that I've made a modification to the top of that trekking pole, which has these quick release adapter that's bolted into the top of it, so I can turn my trekking pole into a tripod for my phone and also for my GoPro, although the GoPro is filming this right now, so I can't show you that, but the GoPro attaches there as well. I found that being able to attach this adjustable one means that I can get this trekking pole into lots of different positions to get whatever sort of angle that I want to be able to make videos and take pictures pictures and things like that with the GoPro or with my phone. So certainly encourage you, if you are interested in taking great video, then prepare for it with some key pieces like that. And I will also make a video later to talk about how I film and take video while on Camino de Santiago. So I have just 3 pieces left, which are in themselves each going to have several items in it. So I have these 3 bags. The first one here is going to be my first aid kit. I do not believe you need to take lots of things with you for first aid. A few can certainly be helpful. This is thread and needles inside of that package. The thread and needles are the main way that I thread blisters. Again, I'll make a video about that later. I'm sure that I will have plenty of blisters when I'm in Spain this summer, so I'll make a video about how to thread blisters. The hand sanitizer, I coat the string, the thread with hand sanitizer before I use it, so that way I'm not putting anything inside of my body that has germs on it. A little extra thread there. And then these are moleskin. I find that I can usually make whatever bandages I need to out of moleskin. I will say this one I just bought at CVS, but you can buy these in Spain that are much larger and much more affordable. So I usually try to pick up moleskin in Spain. It's just much cheaper there for some reason. And then ibuprofen. I take ibuprofen multiple times a day because sometimes hikers refer to it as vitamin I, as you're stressing your body with inflammation and so on. An anti-inflammatory is critical. Something like Tylenol or aspirin are not going to do the same effect as ibuprofen, which, by the way, you'll notice I only have just that small bottle of ibuprofen. I like to buy the 600 milligram ibuprofen tablets when I'm at the pharmacy in Spain. They're very cheap, so I only carry a small amount of ibuprofen anytime because I can get those tablets when I arrive in Spain. So that is my entire first aid kit. You'll notice there's nothing there for patching up if we had some kind of a serious injury or something like that. If I have a life-threatening kinds of injury, then I will improvise with the various items that I have here, whether it's my poncho or my toilet paper or all the various things here. If I had a serious injury, I'm going to be improvising with these other items anyway, so I do not feel the need to carry a first aid kit that includes all kinds of things to be able to treat those injuries. This little hygiene kit is very simple. It has a soap that I use for everything. This is the Camp Suds, but you can use lots of different Dr. Bronner's or different soaps, but just find a soap that you can use on your hair and on your body and on your clothing. Use the same soap for everything so that you don't have to carry multiple soaps. This is a small sunblock, a small chapstick, toothbrush, toothpaste. This is my toothbrush that folds out, toothpaste, and this ring will allow me to hook the bag on the back of the stall whenever I'm in the bathroom. So if I go in the bathroom to take a shower, I have all of those items inside the bag. I put my wallet and so on inside there as well. This is waterproof, so I hang that in the shower so that my valuables are kept in the shower with me. I have the things that I need. Oftentimes there are not hooks, and actually I can hang some additional clothing and stuff on this hook as well if there are not hooks in the bathroom, and certainly some of the albergues in Spain, the bathroom showers will not have hooks. So that's how I use that. I just want to jump in real quick here. I did realize after I stopped filming that I forgot 2 kind of important items that did not get included. First of all, in my hygiene kit, I forgot to mention my deodorant. My deodorant is not in there. I always take a full-size deodorant because for me, that's one item that I do not like the options that are available to me in Spain. I hate the deodorants that I can purchase in Spain. And so I would just encourage you, if you have items that you are very particular about what you use in those areas, then you're going to want to make sure that you bring enough of that item to be able to last you for the entire trip. One of the things that I think is very different for those of us from America going into Europe is that there are very few options on the shelf in any particular store in comparison to America. So in America, I can walk in and see, 55 different kinds of deodorant, even at a Kroger or, a grocery store. In Europe, you can walk into a pharmacy and only see 3 or 4 kinds of deodorant. So for me, the options that were available to me for deodorant, I didn't like any of them. I always make sure that I bring enough of that for the entire trip from home. You may have other items that are like that. I would encourage you to keep that list as small as possible. But if you know that you need a certain product for your hair to stay healthy, or you need a certain product for your skin, whatever it is, make sure that you bring enough of that item to last the entire trip. The other thing that I want to mention is, of course, I'm going to take my iPhone with me on Camino. That's going to perform a number of different functions. Certainly, it takes great pictures, great video for performing those functions. I also have a guidebook on there. I will put a link up above to the Wise Pilgrim guidebook, my kind of demonstration of that guidebook. I think it's one of the best ones you could use, and it's really excellent. So I would encourage you to think about putting a guidebook on there that has information for the albergues and how far you're going and that kind of thing. I think the applications for your phone are much better than the paper ones for a number of reasons, especially that you can get GPS locations very easily, make calls very easily, and so on from directly in the app. That's going to be part of the function of my phone as well. I personally do keep my text messaging services on and everything when I'm on the trail, but there are a lot of people that say they just want all of those things turned off so that they can really focus on making pilgrimage and not having the distractions of home. I normally keep those services on for a variety of reasons, but for me at least, I actually feel better about leaving work if I know that if there was a real emergency, then somebody can get a hold of me. I feel better about leaving my family if I know that if there's a real emergency, then people can get a hold of me. And I just stay really disciplined that if it's not a genuine emergency for work or family, then I'm going to not attend to it while ever I'm on pilgrimage. But you can make your choices about how you want to manage that, and there's lots of good ways that you can do that. But anyway, so the iPhone certainly is going to be a part of my kit that I did not mention as I was going through my through this video. So now I want to show you the contents of my ditty bag. In the ditty bag, I have, first of all, this is kind of everything else that I need. We've got some safety pins. Those are great for being able to hang out laundry. There's usually not enough laundry hooks, laundry safety clothespins. So those are great for that purpose. Earplugs, I actually don't even wear the earplugs, but I am a snorer, so these are for everybody else. And some cheap sunglasses. I carry this twine mostly just as a backup, but the twine can be used for so many things, lashing things to your backpack, used as a clothesline, etc. So this is one of the few items. It's just kind of a do everything piece. More of the safety pins. These are the ends for my trekking pole. I usually end up going through one or two. Sometimes by the time the trip is over, sometimes they will also fall off as you're walking, so I carry a couple of extras of those. These are all the cables for my various devices to be able to charge my various devices. I actually will carry this battery pack because I have cameras and things that I'm using to be able to make videos for this channel, and so I need to be able to have battery access through the day. This is a 15,000 milliamp battery that allows me to charge the devices with these cables. And then those are my SD cards for the GoPro. And then this is my charger. You notice that I just went ahead and bought an EU style plug for my charger. It's got multiple plugs, and the reason to do that is when you're in the albergues, there's going to be lots of competition for plugs. Everybody needs a plug. There's going to be this big nest of plugs and adapters and phones charging at every outlet in the alberga. I have found that if I can walk up and plug in with a multi-adapter that's going to give other people a chance to plug in and not kick them off of the outlet, then it's much easier for me to be able to get an outlet. I can just walk up and say, hey, I'm going to plug yours into mine right here, and then I'm going to use the other ports for myself. So the multi-port adapter is really valuable for that purpose, and makes sure that you can have access to charging while you're there. And then I have a second hook. The first hook was in my my hygiene bag. I have a second hook. Often I use this to hang up my bag, my backpack against the bed, against the bunks and so on. It can serve many other purposes, but I often use it to hang up the bag so that the bag isn't all spread out wherever in the alberga, and certainly you don't want to put your bag on your bed. So let me just talk real quickly about some of the changes I would make if I were walking Camino in the winter. First of all, I would carry this down puffy. The puffy is great for being able to sit out at the bars and stuff at the end of the day. It's comfortable to hike in. It packs down super tight inside of its own sleeve. If I were going in the shoulder season, I would bring that puffy with me. I will not bring it here in the middle of the summer. I would, instead of having shorts, I would have all convertible pants in the winter. And then sometimes I would also change out one of these shirts for some sort of a thin fleece, so that if you're walking on warmer days. But usually just those few changes is going to be enough for the shoulder seasons in the fall and in the spring. If you are walking in, say, May, I have experienced snow in May on 3 different occasions in Camino. I've experienced snow once in July on Camino, all whenever I'm in the mountains. So when you're in the mountains, sometimes you will experience snow. You'll have some cold temperatures even in the middle of the summer, but certainly in those shoulder seasons like April and May, you absolutely could get some very cold temperatures on top of the mountains. And so please be prepared for that. Sometimes I will add gloves to the mix if I'm doing that. Other times I might add some sort of a scarf, something a little more substantial than the buff, to be able to cover my face. I did not include the way that I carry my passport. So I have a little small wallet that fits in my pocket that carries my passport, my money, my cards. It's just a travel wallet that's waterproof. And that's usually how I would carry all my money and everything. Some folks like to put like a neck wallet or things like that. I don't find those helpful for me at all. I suppose they are a little more secure, but I never lose my wallet anywhere else. I'm not going to lose it on Camino. And if I do, I have a backup credit card that's in a different place, so I can make sure that I have an emergency access to money as well. So that's kind of all of my gear that I carry on Camino de Santiago. I hope that you find that helpful. If you would click the like button on this, that will send this video out to others. Click the subscribe if you want to come back and find more videos that will help you make your pilgrimage to Camino de Santiago as well. Buen Camino.